Honda introduced the CRV crossover over 20 years ago, and each year it continues to grow in popularity. Over the past few years, it has been one of the best-selling vehicles in America, and depending on the month, the best-selling crossover, battling it out with the Toyota RAV4. However, the RAV4 has been able to offer a hybrid for the last two iterations, and now even has a plug-in hybrid with 50 miles of pure electric range. So Honda is responding with the first ever CRV Hybrid, featuring 40 miles per gallon in the city and a combined 38 miles per gallon. Let's see if it's worth the extra $1,250 you would spend over a gasoline version. So if you compare this to gasoline all-wheel drive, there's a difference of about $1,250?
Yes.
Okay. And for that you get more horsepower, you get 8 miles per gallon better. You get a 2-liter. This is a 1.5 turbo.
Instead of the 1.5. Same 2-liter in the Accord Hybrid.
So that's that kind of whiny CVT that you.
Yeah.
Is there a so we put in sport? Will that does that lessen it a little bit?
Tiny bit. It's still, you can hear the whining.
Okay. But everything here is the same as compared to. Is it what's any kind of hybrid gauges, or it's all just in here? There's nothing.
It's all in there. There's no.
Just that gauge. That's it.
Yeah, you have different gauges that you can change.
Okay.
On the home screen, depending on what you want to look at. We got a wireless charger now, standard.
Can we get on the freeway and come down?
We've got front sensors and backup sensors. That's not on the regular touring.
Okay, so
Besides the backup camera, besides all the standard Honda sensing that's
right.
available in the touring, gasoline versus the touring hybrid, you have front sensors and rear sensors.
Okay. Just for parking or
parking, correct.
Okay.
Because
it's not even an option on the gasoline?
Correct, unless you add it after the fact.
How could you add it after the fact?
You can add it at dealer level.
Okay.
Factory installed accessory, but you can't. It won't come from the factory standard or equipped with it. Where the hybrid touring it does.
And the first ones you're getting are all pretty much touring, the top of the line?
Yes.
You're not getting any base?
So far that I see out there in California, all the ones that are hitting the dealerships are the tourings.
So what the green circle, that means it's safe around me? Is that what that means?
The green circle is your optimizing gas mileage.
Okay.
The green circle goes
So that's where I want to be. I want to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't have that. You don't have that gauge in the gasoline.
No.
Okay.
You have the little like rim above that changes from white to non-existent or
So if I
the
coast,
regular gas. Right now it's
red,
red
even though I'm coasting.
because you're in sport mode.
Oh, is that why? Okay. So I go econ mode.
It goes from green to white.
Right,
Depending on
okay.
how you stepping on gas.
I got you. Pretty noisy when you accelerate.
CVT.
I know. She wants me to look at the RAV4 hybrid too, and I've driven that a couple of years ago. I'm just trying to see how this compares. Seems awfully loud. I don't know. Does anyone else mention that?
Not yet.
But you've only had it for a few days.
Right.
It drives nice. It's comfortable. She had a CVT car a couple of years ago, and she was kind of lukewarm on it, but it wasn't a hybrid. But you got the 4 trim levels and the same on the gasoline, just 4 trim levels?
Correct. And LX, which is entry, EX, EXL, and then Touring.
And so if you take gasoline, add all-wheel drive, hybrid just adds another $1,250.
Correct.
What percentage of sales do you think this will be here in California? Like if a year from now, if we look at hybrids versus non-hybrids for CRV, 20%?
20 to 25%.
It's not a big upgrade, except here we don't need all-wheel drive.
Correct.
So,
unfortunately, when I talked to Honda, because as I stated, customers were requesting when the 2-wheel drive. There's no plans yet. Maybe
down the road.
Maybe they come out with it in 2 years, or the following year they'll introduce. But right now they just came out with those 4 trim levels.
And they're all-wheel drive. Right. So I gotta.
It's gonna if they were gonna be 2-wheel drive, it'll probably change the gas mileage, maybe 2.
Right, but it'll lower the cost, because typically all-wheel drive adds what, about $1,500?
$1,400 to $1,600.
Yeah. So I guess for a young family, it's on a budget, and you live in California, you're not going to go into snow. Do you ever need all-wheel drive? It makes sense for New York, Michigan, those places, but does it make sense for us here? I don't know.
Yeah, mixed feelings on that. There's a few people that feel they should drive all-wheel drive, and they don't even go anywhere. Feel when we get rain,
yeah, it's
safer. Actually, front-wheel drive will handle better than all-wheel drive.
Yeah, you have stability control and you have all the safety features already.
Yeah, you have the collision mitigation, the lane departure, forward warning collision, the vehicle stability control, the traction control, blind spot indicators, all pretty much standard.
All right, could we drive even though it's 2-wheel drive, can we drive that one?
Yes, absolutely.
I just want to see the difference between the powertrains and the transmissions. Okay, so that one had a push-button shifter. This has a traditional. That was shift by wire.
Right.
This one is regular shift. Okay, so that's a difference. But everything else looks pretty similar. So this has 190 horsepower versus 212? Something like that?
Yes.
But it feels quicker. And it's not as loud.
You feel that the hybrid is a little bit more whiny?
I think it's pretty. When you do hard acceleration, it's pretty loud. There's no sport mode, right?
No, just either eco on or off.
Okay.
Right now it's on. You were driving with it off. I don't know if you.
Yeah, let's have it off. Is this the typical test drive loop you guys do?
Usually we don't go on the freeway.
I'm special.
Somebody asked, traffic's moving. And usually we just make right up the hill, back down, right, and then left.
It's definitely a lot quieter during hard accelerations. Because you have, what other hybrids you have? You have the Insight
And the Accord.
and the Accord.
And the Clarity plug-in.
Plug-in, yeah. You sell a lot of those?
We sell a lot of those.
Which of the Clarities do you sell the most? There's the plug-in,
Well,
the
we
pure
only
BEV.
have one.
You don't have the hydrogen fuel cell?
Only a couple of dealers in LA and one in Orange County, Norton Reeves, Irvine.
Oh, you guys don't? Okay. That's pretty interesting technology. You're not sold on it?
There's not a lot of fuel stations.
No, there aren't. There's about 30, I think, throughout the states. Still, it's interesting. It could be the future.
Yeah, right now the Clarity hydrogen, the fuel cell, it's only a lease only. It's a 3-year lease.
But you get free fuel, right? Well, up to a certain amount, yeah.
Yeah, they give you up to a certain amount. I know Toyota's version, you can buy it or lease it.
I think Hyundai you can buy or lease too.
Clarity, you can only lease it and turn it back in, and then lease, you can't buy it out.
I was kind of calculating the math that the hybrid will save you about $300, maybe $400 in California a year if you drive 15,000 miles in fuel, but you pay more. So it's kind of a trade-off. I think people hold on to hybrids longer.
Yeah, I have a client on he had like an original Civic Hybrid and the original Inside Hybrid, the little two-seater.
Oh, the little
two-seater. And
tapered.
Went to a Civic Hybrid, put 400,000 miles on it, and
Wow.
it's still running. He sold it, and somebody's still driving it. He has a 2014 Accord Hybrid, and he's got like 170 on it right now.
Wow.
And he just loves driving very conservatively. I've seen his stats in his car. He's getting way more than what it actually projects, but it's supposed to get. Like 79, 85 miles.
What? That's crazy. He must be hypermiling.
Yeah, it's a big game to him to try to see how much more miles he can get out of a car per gallon.
I'm surprised they haven't gone to shift by wire on the gasoline.
They have it in our Accord 2.0s and our hybrids.
Yeah, it's got probably trickling down. Eventually,
You get a lot of people that are uncomfortable with that shift by wire, the push button. They want a shifter.
So you get the spare tire on this one, but not the hybrid.
Right.
The hybrid just gets the kit. But it's sharing space with the battery because the batteries go down. So you're not really losing storage space. It's either spare tire or battery pack. I think that's right. That's
correct.
Pretty nice though. So I noticed on the hybrid you had a lot of like extra sticker markup stuff. That's a standard they put on everything.
Like the standard accessories they put in everything. The hybrid has additional markup just because
It's new.
It's just brand new. It just arrived.
I got you.
A couple months they'll be trickling in, and maybe a different story. But not saying that markup's not negotiable.
Everything's negotiable, right? I'm just going to park in the handicap. I just want to look at these side by side, if that's okay. All right. Here's my bottom line on the CRV Hybrid. The extra $1,250 is justifiable if you live in a state like California, where gas is $4 per gallon, and you can save about $300 to $400 per year if you drive 15,000 miles per year. And if you want better fuel economy and range. The added 22 horsepower, not really that noticeable. Having all-wheel drive is a requirement for getting the CRV Hybrid, and I'm fine with that because even though all-wheel drive costs more, about $1,500, it's one of those few options you can recoup when you go to sell your CRV. However, that moan the CVT makes when you accelerate is just unacceptable and much louder than the RAV4s. Surely an engine company like Honda can find a better solution. The choice is yours. I would take the RAV4 Hybrid over the CRV, but it's your money, not mine. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on The Driver's Seat.